Yo my dudes, welcome back to PupSmuggler Gaming. My name is Ash. This is my face. I'm finally gonna try and do a rebrand of my channel and start showing my face, I guess. It's really uncomfortable and weird so far. Anyway, that's not what any of you guys are here for. So on the 16th, they finally gave us a trailer for Security Breach, which is really freaking exciting. Something you didn't know probably about me is I'm actually a huge freaking FNAF fan. I've followed the lore for a while and I'm just really freaking excited about this. So anyway, let's just jump right to it. We're gonna just go ahead and watch it, which I'm sure you guys have already seen it a million times already. But yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and watch this all the way through, and then I'm going to try to break down some of the little things that were throughout it, and then afterwards I want to discuss some of the theories and ideas people have about the game based off of the trailer and the teasers and everything that they've released thus far. So let's go ahead and just...
Gregory, your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out. Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch. It won't happen again. It's been such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?
I don't want to play a game. I think anybody does, other than this.
It won't happen again. It was just a glitch.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
So, yay. Fucking Security Breach. So, as I said earlier, I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen that clip a million frickin' times, and you've already probably seen a million frickin' breakdowns, but we're gonna do it again. So, let me go ahead and just back it up here, back to the start. And throughout this, I'm probably going to be throwing in some images that I personally altered, just to get a better look at everything. Okay, so back at the start of the video, obviously,
Gregory
starts off with her talking to a kid named Gregory, presumably a kid based off of his high-pitched breathing that you can hear throughout the trailer, but most predominantly at the end. We also can note that they're clearly in a storage area or warehouse part of the mall, which you can see the boxes, the forklift, and what is presumably a water tank or a gas tank or something along those lines. And then let's continue.
Your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please.
Okay, so obviously she's doing the whole pleading and weird whatever, and she talks about his friends and how they're there with her. It's presumably already murder victims at the hands of Vanny. And additionally, I would like to point out, you can see her shadow in the doorway, and you can also see Helpy on one of the boxes, I believe is what it is. I don't know, he's there though, which is pretty exciting because I freaking love Helpy.
Please come out. Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch.
So more glitching on her end, especially since she went ahead and specified that it was just a glitch, which is more than likely her referring to attacking Gregory, or at least attacking his friends. Additionally, in the upper left corner you can see, obviously on top of the thing that hangs over the kitchen and holds the pots and pans, I'm not sure what it's called, you can see a new animatronic. He's got some sort of weird moon theme, and the glowing red eyes and the way he's crawling around obviously makes you feel not welcome and a little uncomfy, in my opinion. So he's likely been corrupted or something by whatever glitch Vanny's talking about. And then additionally, on top of the new animatronic, which I've heard a lot of people refer to him as so many different names, but I call him Mr. Moon. Then if you look to the right of the screen, this is purely speculation based off of what you can see as well as my altered image, but the trash bags that are sitting around, it almost looks like they're leaking, potentially blood or something, but I'm not 100% on that one. That one's just pure speculation and attempt at observation of this scene, because it's a little cluttered, and which is a good thing because this is really cool and it's pretty accurate for a kitchen scene in a freaking restaurant. Hashtag relatable.
It won't happen again.
And right there we saw the red doors with the checkered pattern, and the checkered pattern is obviously something that's fairly common and tends to show up in a lot of these games, which I think is a pretty cool thing that they kept that around.
It's been such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?
So she's just continuing to plead with him to like come out while he's clearly trying to escape, starting from the back at the warehouse part, and it seems like he's just going throughout the building. This is one of my favorite freaking rooms that they've showed so far. It looks fantastic. It looks so badass. Like, I'm not sure if there's a lot to really show here. The main thing that I found interesting was the observation area at the top. I'm assuming it's just for like spectators or an employee to make sure everybody's following the rules and not destroying property or hurting each other. Typical stuff you would expect in a laser tag area. And then obviously it's laser tags. They've got the little holes in the wall where you can like peek out and shoot each other, and frickin' the glam rock designs I'm absolutely in love with. They look so frickin' cool. I'm just so excited. Alright.
It won't happen again.
So, a few things to note about this room. Not a whole lot, really, in my opinion, but you can see that it's clearly the entrance to the mall or the mega pizzaplex or whatever you want to call it. The two main things, other than obviously like the giant frickin' golden Freddy in the middle of, well, golden glam rock Freddy, I guess. Anyway, other than him, the things I noticed were the room up top. I've heard a few theories going around that it might be like some sort of security office up there, maybe. Purely speculation. It's just an interesting little room. Another thing I wanted to note was, if you look at the giant golden Freddy statue, it looks like most of the lights are coming downward, which means that his shadow would be like mostly right around his feet and would be pretty minimalized based off of the lighting in the room. That could just be me bad at like shadows and stuff, but if you look on the left side at the start of the stairs and the escalator, or is that an escalator? No, those are just stairs. I'm stupid. Anyway, you can see it like a weird shadow that doesn't seem to come from anything, or it probably does and I'm just being stupid. But I thought it was something interesting to point out, see what you guys think, get some input in for that. Let's go ahead and continue. This room is just really freaking cool looking. This game looks really cool already.
It was just a glitch.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
So, I'm going to show you a few images in a little bit that happen right before the jump scare, but first thing I'm going to note is the man's voice. There's a couple theories going around on it. The most predominant one is that the voice comes from Glam Rock Freddy, and we'll delve more into that a little bit later. But yeah. But one thing that bothered me when I first watched this trailer was, if you're coming from like the back of the building to the front, you would think that the last room you would encounter would be the lobby, right? So I was just like, what freaking room did this kid end up in? Like, that's super dark and hard to see anything in. And then it clicked. I'm going to show you a couple images here. If you look, there's a brick wall, which is another interesting thing to note. Once again, cover a little bit later. But also there's lines on the ground, and the lights on the ceiling and a pillar to the side indicate that it's likely a parking garage, which would make sense if you're coming out the exit. You'd more than likely end up in a parking garage in order to hide from like a, murderous rabbit. That... the fuck's wrong with these games? Anyway, so we'll go ahead and just finish watching the jump scare one more time, just for fun. And obviously it's clearly Vanny and security breach. So from here we're just going to discuss some of the current running theories and some of the ideas, including one that didn't get a lot of love but I did find interesting. It has to do with the setting of this game. So the first thing I want to discuss is the name of the game, Security Breach. So obviously somebody's breached security, but another thing I wanted to note is a lot of the other FNAF games after obviously FNAF 4, their names had double meanings. So it's more than likely in this game there's going to be the literal breach of security as well as some double meaning. And I wanted to discuss a theory by user I am the Yeeter on r/GameTheorist about the potential plot of Security Breach. Quote, the title of the game, Security Breach, references Gregory and his friends who broke into the mall after dark. Vanessa is a security guard. This idea is supported by Vanny's jump scare. At the end of her scream, a security/police siren can be heard. Also, this image of Vanny shows her behind a group of monitors, possibly security monitors. She became possessed by Glitchtrap and became Vanny. She killed Gregory's friends and is now trying to kill Gregory. Further down, they go on to explain that we will likely be playing as Gregory in this scenario, where you're being tracked down by Vanny, but you get the assistance of some of the animatronics who are actually the good guys, which we'll delve into a little bit later, pretty soon. I'm going to double back for a second because I forgot something. So the more explicit security breach is obviously Vanny because she's running around killing people in fucking Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Well, no, pardon me. Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. There we go. It's midnight, give me a break. So the last potential meaning of the name comes from obviously Glitchtrap slipping into the system and potentially corrupting animatronics, because obviously back in Help Wanted he was able to hitch a ride on some computer parts and he corrupted the VR game and managed to corrupt the mind of Vanny, obviously. Although she didn't seem to be a completely unwilling participant, just a hesitant one. Adding a little bit more onto the whole Glitchtrap thing, user Voxale from r/GameTheorist got the newest copy of the Freddy files and found a very interesting image where William Afton, Springtrap, was slowly turning into what appeared to be code. So that kind of gives a potential explanation for how it happened, or obviously the picture's likely metaphorical because I don't think Springtrap literally just faded into code. That'd be really impressive though. I'd have to give a little bit of respect to the man. He's really, really determined. So yeah, some of the potential meanings behind the name Security Breach come from Gregory being a little delinquent, Vanny, and Glitchtrap. The next thing I want to discuss is where does this game take place? Obviously it takes place at the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, but I wanted to get a tiny bit more broad than that while still staying in the general area. And I was inspired by a post that I saw, another one from obviously r/GameTheorist, because I'm going to steal the content while I can. The theory was posted by user It's Endergirl, and it was regarding the brick wall that you saw in the parking garage area. Quote, just right before Vanny's jump scare, if you brighten the image just enough, you'll see a brick wall. Now, how does that matter? Well, a brick wall was once mentioned in the Silver Eyes being used to seal off the pizzeria. So what if in Security Breach we are in a similar condition where we are in a mall, but it is finally constructed, but maybe it's constructed around Freddy's? So the reason I gave this theory a moment was because I thought it was kind of weird because the bricks that you see in it aren't the type of bricks at least I'm used to seeing in a parking garage. And I was just like, okay, alright, I'm here, I'm listening. So I decided to go ahead and do a little bit more digging. So if you guys remember back in Pizzeria Simulator, when you were served a lawsuit, or whatever, however you say it would read at the top, in the District Court of Utah, 5th Judicial District, Washington County. It's like, okay, so I looked it up. Washington County exists. Not surprised, I'm sure everybody already knew that. But what I found interesting was that Hurricane, Utah is also a part of Washington County, or Hurricane? I don't know, some hick way to say it. What is wrong with you people? Anyway, I'm gonna say hurricane, because no. So of course I decided to do some more digging, because a lot of things are lining up here, so I decided to look into when we first got that teaser showing the construction of the mall. And it was released whenever they released the non-VR version of Help Wanted, where in that image there's like a light dusting of snow. It's not a whole lot, and it was also released on December 17th, 2019. I looked, there was no snow that day. But I did look at the typical weather patterns for Hurricane, and it does look like it's possible that it would have been snowing around that time in that general area. So, food for thought. Just thought I would throw that little bit out there. I know I rambled on longer than I should have with that one, but I thought it was interesting. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I want to discuss is what kind of gameplay can we probably expect from this new game? And that comes a lot of other questions, but the main thing people are wondering is, will this game be free roam? And obviously from the looks of the map that we saw earlier, especially that huge freaking laser tag maze, it's a pretty sure bet we'll probably get some free roaming. But the real question is, who the hell are we playing as? Because we've seen 2 potential characters, or at least seen one, heard one. So let's just have a moment. We've got the unnamed security guard from the teaser, and we've got Gregory. The thing that I don't like about the whole do we play as Gregory is it seems like he dies at the end of the trailer. I mean, he clearly gets caught, and I don't think Vanny's going to leave him alive. I think the more likely solution is that you're going to play as the security guard that we saw in that teaser, which I think would be interesting. One of the main problems people have with the whole you're playing as the security guard thing is some people actually think the security guard is Vanny, which I guess would be pretty interesting because we've been trying to figure out who the heck this mysterious security lady is. So who knows, maybe it is Vanny, maybe it's not, but only time will tell. So one of the interesting theories about the whole game mechanics is a lot of people think there's going to be actual good guy animatronics in this game, which I think would be a nice change of pace. But that's mainly supported by the mysterious man's voice at the end of the trailer. You don't know who he is, you don't know why he's helping Gregory, you know nothing about him. I mean, the only actual animatronic you see in the whole trailer is Mr. Moon, who's creepily climbing on top of the kitchen thing and probably violating a few health guidelines. So, yeah. So in typical FNAF fashion, people went digging, and there are 2 names that came up of potential voices for that mysterious man. The first one is, unsurprisingly, Kellen Goff, because he literally tweeted the end lines, and, you know, it's Kellen Goff. Plus it kind of sounds like a couple of the voices he's done before, but who knows. So the second name that has come up with researching who this voice could belong to came from user Wild Trumps on, once again, Game Theorist subreddit. Essentially, they got into a disagreement with one of their friends, arguing back and forth on who the voice could be, so unsurprisingly, they did a little bit of digging. Quote, after a lot of arguing, I realized that there was a leak from Voices.com of a character named Robotic Overlord, voiced by Tim Simmons. I searched Tim Simmons on YouTube and saw that he had previously voice acted in Ultimate Custom Night Nightmare Freddy, and so I compared the voices. Lo and behold, they were very similar. So I'm going to briefly readdress what I started with before I got on the tangent about the whole voice thing. I want to talk about the good guy animatronics. In a post made by user Frankie the Savage, they discuss any evidence that could possibly lead to maybe, just maybe, the animatronics actually playing as a good guy. Quote, as you see in the trailer, a deep male voice helps the boy Gregory by hiding and protecting him. We assume this to be Glamrock Freddy. Most disagree because he's an animatronic. I disagree. If you look at Steelwolf's description in the game and the PS4 blog, it states how this improved Fazbear location has improved animatronics with the latest technology. Further on, they go on to discuss about how that's likely why they've got Glamrock Freddy in the actual security breach logo, because he's supposed to be there to protect. Alternatively, you can flip that on its head and be like he's there because he is a breach, but we already discussed what the likely breaches are. So a few people have issues with the whole good guy animatronic thing, and they're just like, well, if there's no enemies other than like Vanny and maybe Mr. Moon, what kind of game is that? Thing is, obviously in the trailer, Mr. Moon is, even though we've never seen him before, not moving like you would expect a nice, family-friendly animatronic to be moving, meaning he's likely been corrupted, likely by Vanny, potentially by Glitchtrap, or both, I guess. But a lot of people think that as you progress through the game, more and more of the animatronics are going to become corrupted or glitched out and start attacking. But again, time will tell. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you did. I'd also really like some feedback. I'm trying to rebrand my channel and just testing out some new formats. This is my first time using a face cam. I know I'm not the most appealing, but I always think that using a face cam gives it a little bit more character. So let me know what you think down below. Give me some suggestions, and I'm also working on getting a group of other content creators that I can play Among Us with, because I have like 2 friends, but I think it'd be so much freaking fun. I see all these other people doing it, but yeah, so if you're interested, contact me. So yeah, that's it. Stay awesome, dudes.